Alrighty, hello, Sophia. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. And I know it froze me on your screen, so please don't mind that. Hopefully the screen adjusts here, but we'll continue.
Okay.
It's just me who's frozen. We can see you perfectly, so um, we'll continue from there. So, Miss Sophia, we've had a great conversation yesterday on the phone, and I would love for us to continue that if you don't mind. Let's get this interview started and tell me a little bit about your professional experience.
Well, my name is Sofia Banda. I've been a designer for over 15 years. I consider myself a senior designer at this point in my career. I've worked for advertising agencies. I've worked for private companies and as well as corporate settings. I've worked for big companies and small companies. So my experience is very vast. But
Incredible. And I have your resume up here as well. And I mean, I even took a look at your portfolio, like I mentioned earlier on the call, and phenomenal. I can see that you've done a lot, like you said, that marketing. You worked with bigger corporations, smaller companies. And I want to touch base a little bit on, the size of Jax. Kind of like we discussed, Jax is a bit smaller of a company. So I just want to ensure you're comfortable working with a company that's not as major as the ones that you've worked with before.
I am very comfortable. Like I said, I've worked in smaller settings as well as like huge corporates, and I blend in pretty well. So I'm good with either one.
Beautiful. Well, that sounds awesome to me. I want to ask you a little bit about this position and tell me kind of what caught your eye about this opportunity.
Well, a big part of my background is product development. I've been involved with conceptions of redoing a product or revamping a current product. I did go on their website and I did see a lot of product focus marketing. So that kind of intrigued me a little bit because I've learned everything from printing to photography to staging um, and marketing and advertising products. So my background is in marketing and product development. And when I saw their website, I was like, okay, well, I'm very interested.
Yeah, this role is definitely up your alley. I know, kind of like you mentioned again, excuse the phrasing, but you've worked your way up throughout your career to where now you're more of that senior graphic designer. Again, saw your portfolio, amazing flyers, brochures, marketing materials, so on and so forth. If you don't mind me asking, with those creations or just your preferred, what was your preferred design software, or really just the more comfortable software that you're used to using in the past?
I am very comfortable with Illustrator, Photoshop, InDesign, which are probably the three most common design programs in the industry. I have also dabbled in Premiere Pro, which is video editing, which has been like a big thing in my career because I had no idea, nothing about Premiere Pro and video editing. And I went into it like blindsided and I had to learn it within 2 weeks and I did. And I feel comfortable with it. And I'm very excited about learning more about that. But Illustrator, Photoshop, and InDesigner, probably like, and some Canva. I've dabbled in Canva as well. Not a, I don't, that's not my preferred, but I have used it, yes.
Beautiful. And some things that make my ears perk up a little bit is you mentioned your Photoshop proficiency, your InDesign proficiency, and then you also mentioned how do you use AI at all? Just curious. Do you use
I
AI for your
do,
photos? Do you use it
yes.
more than the other systems, or?
Um, Briefly, when I was at Wilson Printing,
Mhm.
we started using a lot of AI, and that helped us in rebuilding product placements in certain scenes that we needed instead of trying to Photoshop them. Sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad, but a lot of the times it's very inspirational as to what can be done and take from it. So I have used AI for printing purposes and design purposes too.
Amazing. I only asked because sometimes, those AI images aren't always the best. So I was just curious if you
Mhm.
use those, kind of adjusted it to, or it took a little bit out of the AI image and use it in your own image. So I was curious how the AI tied into your own work there. So that's awesome. And I also heard you say that you had to learn how to edit videos in about 2 weeks. So I think that shows your work ethic and your motivation to get a task done, even if that means that you have to learn. And that video editing is definitely a plus for Jack's, for Jack's magic for this position. So I know that hopefully their ears prick up the way that mine did. Now, Sophia, I know I chatted with you and I mentioned that this role isn't just that graphic design position. You'll also be helping with the special projects in multiple departments. So are you comfortable with that aspect of the job as well?
Absolutely. I think that having to contribute in other parts of the company, you kind of understand more of the structure and who's involved and what. And yeah, I'm comfortable with that.
Awesome stuff. Alrighty. And then to wrap up the interview, here's a few more questions for you. As far as any schedule restrictions, do you have any time off in the next, let's say, 30 days that you would be requesting off?
No,
No
I'm
days
okay.
off.
No,
Okay. Awesome. And then as far as starting a new position, how soon were you looking to start?
as soon as possible. At this point, yes.
Yeah, that sounds incredible. Well, Sophia, I appreciate all the details that you were able to provide during our interview today. I want to go ahead and stop the recording, but if you don't mind, stay with me in the line really quickly. I want to continue
Okay.
chatting with you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.